Ibadan. I'm sitting with a beautiful and handsome, a young man, a beautiful young man, a personality of great repute in Nigeria. He's a gift to contemporary music in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you Beautiful Nubia.
Oh, thank you very much.
What inspired that name? I hear Beautiful Nubia and I just think of a dream. I don't know. So what inspired the name and what does it mean?
Beautiful refers to a state of spiritual beauty. When you see a fellow man and all you see is this person who deserves your total love and sacrifice. See, that would be a very beautiful spiritual state to achieve. When you see someone and you can see beyond their face, beyond their faith, beyond their color, and beyond their gender. You can see what is divine about them, and you see the need for you to give of yourself totally, to give your total love, and to give selfless sacrifice to that person. That would be a very beautiful soul. And that's a path I've been on for a long time, to be more beautiful every day, you know. So when you call me beautiful, you're challenging me to be more beautiful, to try and keep working hard, to get rid of hatred in my soul, to get rid of greed and selfishness. Okay. You know, so that's what the name is about, beautiful. But Nubia is the name of a nation of black people. People who are like, you know, our skin tones, our complexions, who ruled the world about 3,000 years ago. Now the Nubians were the champions of what we call modern medicine, architecture, you know, astronomy, astrology, metallurgy, the hard sciences, you know, like chemistry, physics. They were at the forefront of all these things. The roots of those things were planted during the reign of the Nubians. And so if anybody's always thought that all Africans have always been slaves or colonized peoples or second-class citizens of the world, the Nubians proved to us that once, 3,000 years ago, we were the kings of this world. And if we learn to love ourselves, maybe we can get back to that point of eminence again.
Okay.
So, I mean, where I grew up in Ibadan. And then in Ibadan, we had a very rich cultural environment, you know. In those days, you found lots of traditional music on the road, on the street, lots of traditional music on radio, TV, in the home. You know, nobody stopped you from speaking your traditional local language, you know. I also had the luck of living with my grandmother, who was a woman of culture, somebody who taught me a lot of the cultural values that I still use now. The values of honesty, and humility, and good neighborliness, and selflessness. And those things have guided me up to this point. Nowadays, you find that in Nigeria, the things that we're missing are those values. Our people are too greedy, our people are too selfish, our people are too self-centered, our people are not good neighbors. Unless we go back to those values, we are bound for, you know, even more difficult times.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. My hair, I gave my hair fundamental hair rights. Basically, that's what I did. I decided that the day I stopped working for anyone, the day I become my own man, the day I leave paid employment, that day I'll give my hair its full rights to grow, unhindered by anybody, by any barber's implement, by any comb or anything. And so since the day I stopped working, like 11 years ago, I stopped working for anybody. I became my own boss about 11 years ago now. Since that day, I've left this hair. I didn't twist it. I didn't add any beeswax or anything to hold it up.
You break egg?
No, I just left it. This is just my hair left alone for 11 years. But my mother eventually told me 2 years ago, right? Yes. 9 years after I'd been spotting this, she now told 11. Me, yeah, she now told me that, you this stubborn boy, you went to clean your hair again. And then she told me that I was born with it. Oh. That this was how I was born. And that they cut it off. She cut it off before I turned 1. She never told me this until like 2 years ago.
What caused you to leave, you know, your practice, your veterinary practice, and you know you moved into music?
Well, you know, I like to say that I was a musician long before I became a vet, and this is how I explain it. I started writing songs when I was a kid, when I was like 9 years old. From my earliest memory, I always knew I was going to be a musician. I always knew that I was going to be a writer and a musician. But the other thing was that I was quite good in school, you know. So I was always like the best. I was always like first. Everywhere I went. Primary school, first. You know, secondary school, always first. But my teachers and my mother, and these are the key people, it was my teachers and my mother who said, you know, it's important for you to learn a trade. That you can always, something practical that I can always fall back on. So I'm lucky that I listened to the advice they gave me. And so I went to read veterinary medicine, which is more or less a very practical trade. You know, but that course just teaches you a few things. Perseverance, very tough, you know, and it teaches you how to be hard and how to kind of go at things until you succeed. And then also because I worked as a vet. I didn't just study it. I worked as a vet for about 9 years. And so I learned how to manage people and how to manage money. And those things are helping me now as a musician.
Our viewers at home might actually be thinking that we're in a studio, but you'll be surprised that this is your house.
Yes.
This is your house. It's
this is where
well furnished and
I don't have any furniture there. I have mats.
Together.
I have mats like this. I have a few cane chairs. That's all I've got. But you don't need much,
What inspired this?
Well, it's just the way I like to live. I like to live as frugally as possible. And I like space. I like the sense of space. I like it, I don't like a home that's cluttered with furniture with too much on the walls. I like, because I like to sense that I can breathe, that I can live. When we finish, I'll take you to my bedroom.
Ooh.
Yes, you go. I didn't mean anything by that. I want to show you so you see how actually.
Please, what safe.
Actually, there's just like a little bed and there's just space.
I'd like to ask, the woman in your life. Who is she and what does she look
there
like?
have been several women in my life. The first one, the prime one, is my grandmother. My grandmother, who, taught me a lot of our traditional values, like I told you. She ensured that I learned how to be humble. Now, my mother was the one who infused this ambition to be something good in me, So these are the women that I owe. Everything that I'm right now, I owe those two women. Okay. So when I ask about the women in my life, these are the women in my life.
Okay. But we know I'm talking about the woman, your wife, to be precise.
I'll tell you something about our society. Put the camera in my face. Our society, this whole idea about wife, husband, my own, it all goes back to that selfish I'm talking about. Selfish, I want to own my own wife, my own this thing. Why can't every child in Nigeria be my child?
Sorry, you talk
why
about...
Why can't every woman be my wife?
Sorry, but you just talked about your mother, and every woman cannot be your mother.
Every woman is my mother. You see, in our traditional setting, you know what the Yorubas will say? Iyami and my mother. You are here now. The ladies who are here, there are a lot of ladies here. They are all my mothers.
Okay.
That's how it is. I like that whole sense of communal. This whole idea of saying this one is my wife. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't work.
Are you married?
I'm very, very married.
To who?
To people, to music, to life. I am married to nature. I don't want to put a focus on like a wife or a child or because why you're coming to me now is because of the music.
So in summary, you really don't want to talk about your wife.
You're talking about this wife. You want to marry me? I can make it third wife or fourth wife.
Okay, if you can.
Have you now?
If you have a proposal on set, it won't be so bad.
I'll make her wife number 5.
I'll think about it. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Let's move over to something different. If this topic is making you uncomfortable.
But it's not. I'm not the one who's giving my answer. You're the one who's uncomfortable.
I'm very comfortable. I'd really love for you to sing for me.
Sing a song.
As one of your new...
As my number 5th wife.
I would love for you to sing for me and the audience out there.
I'll sing a song from Kilo Kilo. It's called Kajoma Shiko. Ọ̀rẹ́ ojú ọ̀run òye wa níbo la ó gbà tá ó fi dẹ́kun ìròbìnújẹ́ o. Òkun kúṣú o kò sẹ́ni tí ó gbà wá o. Olólùfẹ́ o fa mí mọ́ra kí tẹ̀ra wọlé.
That was beautiful.
Kájọ máa ṣe pọ̀ ló lè dá òye. Ṣèbí bíire bá wọlé ayọ̀ ní òpin kárí o. Wo ojú ọ̀run tó ṣú òjò ní ó fi rọ̀ bèbí. Ṣèbí kájọ máa ṣe pọ̀ ló lè dá o. Jọ̀wọ́ yé o, tẹ̀lé mi ká lọ o. Jọ̀wọ́ jájọ máa ṣe pọ̀. See, I don't sell her. She does the dance.
I won't go or leave your place before or without you interpreting what you just said. Seriously.
I said you are the most beautiful woman I have seen today. Abby?
Oh my God. You can't tell me. You couldn't have been describing my beauty, those lyrics.
You don't know. You don't know. Me, I have eye for beauty. See how like this.
Okay. So that